want to start this out. This is Thanksgiving week. This is, as I record this, November 20th. And the older you get, I think, just the more grateful you get for health and friends, in my case, clients and family. And, I've worked 42 years at this business and have tried to bring the lowest price, the lowest commissions, have no back end fees, arrange the lowest storage fees in the world. I've done everything I can to do, and I do take great pride in that. But none of it could happen without you, the clients, and we're just proud to call you our clients and continue to enjoy working with you. And we just pray for you this Thanksgiving that you will have a healthy, prosperous year in 2019. And I think we're going to see a tremendous change in 2019 and 20. Things are beginning to surface. The central banks of the world now own 10% of known gold in this world. And when you look at what the U.S. Treasury has, and you look at some of these other countries, it doesn't count all that unless the central banks own it. So there's really a higher percentage than that. But there's a vast change. When you look today and say gold is down 5% for the year in 2018, the stock market is dead even. The S&P is down about 2%. The NASDAQ is down slightly. The bond markets have been clobbered around the world. Real estate has quit going up in value in most spaces because of the rising interest rates. In other words, there has not been a good investment this year unless certainly there are certain stocks that have done incredible. I'm not saying an isolated stock here, an isolated stock there. But look at palladium. I mean, here's a metal that's gone up 50% in 2 years. And a lot of our clients have made tremendous amounts with it, but most of you don't own it. It's more of a fringe metal. But what we gave you a buy signal in platinum a few weeks ago, and we've seen it come up about $30, $40. We think it's going to continue up to where it'll pass palladium. It's still about $250 behind palladium, but we think it will go past palladium next year and in the next year because there'll be a change in the catalytic converter use back to platinum from palladium. It's also interesting that the mining costs coming out every quarter from the 10 biggest gold miners, this was through September 30th, are showing a 1204 average cost to mine gold, and it ranges from about 1140 up to 1280. But 1240 for the 8 biggest gold companies, so gold's only about $20 above mining cost. I mean, it just can't drop down to some of these crazy numbers y'all call and say, is gold going to 600 or 800 per ounce? It's not going to happen. And in silver, we see the average cost over $14.50 where gold is, and where silver is. We see it averaging in the low 15s. I mean, it's 75 cents to 85 cents below mining cost. And no matter what you do, no matter what I do, the investor, you're going to continue to have industrial demand for silver as we move more and more toward these solar panels in China and the U.S. It's interesting now, there's 2 big telemarketing firms running excellent ads on TV about silver and about the demand industrial for it, no matter what the investor does. And remember, silver is expected to be the first element in the Earth's crust on the old chemistry chart that will be completely depleted as early as 2021 or 22. There'll be no silver coming out of the ground except a little bit, and everything will have to be bought above ground. And that's when you're going to see silver go to these crazy numbers you've been hearing about. But I can't imagine, I know that I've put every dollar that I can put into silver and have nothing but thank you for the opportunity. Because once these large JP Morgans, Goldman Sachs, and other major market makers come out of the short positions and in the long positions, like they did from 2000 to 2011, you're going to see $50 silver, all-time high silver taken out fairly quickly, in my opinion. And that's when the investor moves in, because like I said, now it's only industrial use. The investor's waiting on the sidelines. But when they move into the futures market and leverage on their physical silver, it's going to be a thing of beauty and ascension. I've seen it 2 times in my 42-year career, and I sincerely believe this may not be the biggest percentage move, but it'll take silver to an all-time high. And I don't think I think it'll be the next 2 years. There's a guy named the Stalker that's considered in my world the world's most sophisticated precious metals investor, and he has been very quiet for the last several months. But I was talking to a source in Germany recently, as well as England, where he lives, and they're saying that he's looking any day to move into silver. And when he does, it's not going to be $14.50. He's going to go to $16.50, $17 just off the initial movement when he moves into it. And of course, we'll know when he moves into it, but it'll be after the fact. So my suggestion again is, yes, I'm disappointed silver has had a bad year. Does it do anything? No. I'm a little miniature JP Morgan. I'm buying more in my personal account, and I'm looking at a significant purchase for more by the end of the year based on some things I'm selling to reposition some assets. So anyway, today I just want to talk to you about how grateful we are to be working with you. Dan and Kathleen and I and Carol and Mary, we pour out our hearts every day. We realize that it's God's money that we all have. It's a gift, it's a responsibility to manage it. And like one, as I said to you, we're fortunate. I've got a very wealthy person meeting with me this week, a billionaire. You know, they're searching for money, places to go to. They're no different than anybody else. They make their money doing one thing, but they have to diversify like the rest of us. So we've got that to be excited about. And like I said, when it moves, it's going to be a thing of beauty, and it's going to be a thing of massive profits for you, our clients. If you're interested in a IRA, self-directed precious metals IRA, you can call Dan or Kathleen or I. We can be your representative. We can be your broker. We cannot be your custodian, but we'll send you in the right direction. You can reach us at 800-247-2812. And also, if you're not part of our storage program, you need to talk to us. We have the lowest storage rates in the world. It's hard to believe that I can store things cheaper than an ETF can. So why would you want to buy an ETF when you can have real metal? And for another discussion later, and a special interview that Jerry and I will do early next year, I'm telling you, when you have paper investments, eventually they go back to their true value, which is nothing. What are you going to do when a stock drops? You're going to take your piece of paper and look at it? You've got to have a tangible investment. Real estate or gold or silver or platinum, palladium, you've got to have part of your portfolio. And when it does crash, and it is, the dollar is going to crash. When it does, you've got to have things of real value that are accepted around the world, and not a piece of paper that is just going to tumble to where you get out and you put it into something of real value. And treasury bills are not real value. It's another form of paper. So anyway, I don't want to get too carried away, but once again, thank you for your patronage during the year, and thank you for being our clients, and thank you for listening. It makes it all worthwhile. With this week's Precious Metals Market Update, this is Tom Cloud signing in.